All right. Player ratings are in, and we are going to be rating this game of football that ended 3-3 in favor of no one. And it really showed to us that United needs to be doing better when it comes to defending. But I've gonna hate to see people really going ahead at the manager and all what. But however much Marcus Rashford went ahead to score a goal and put in an assist, go ahead and really rewatch that fixture. Go ahead and really watch those games. Then you'll come in and really let me know why didn't Rashford pile pressure or like is that pressure onto that player, on those two players that put the crosses in that result into a goal. You get? Where in the world do you get an opponent get all that time to obviously put in those crosses? You get? That is the most important question that people are really trying to run away from. And I tell you, not until we have our team, all our left forwards tracking back, like how Amadi Diallo went ahead, obviously track back and obviously cover that space, we aren't really going to survive such moments, because how many more goals are we going to concede from the left side of the pitch? Because we are looking bad. And I know Ten Hag hasn't gone ahead obviously come out and say that he really took out Marcus Rashford because of not really tracking back and really looking at a player putting a cross that resulted into a goal into the mainstream. But that's the reason, because there is no way Ten Hag would have gone to talk of Marcus Rashford, because he did the same thing when conceding against a team known as Tottenham in the first goal. And even today, he was trotting, yet the player was really going to put in crosses to obviously result into the goal. So I tell you, that is really uncalled for. That is not pressing. You have to press the player such that even if he's to put in a cross, the pressure you exert on him forces him to obviously not put in the required shift all possible into the mix. So welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I've gone here to do the match reaction, and I'm here to obviously let you know that we're here to do the player ratings. And let's start with the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. I think that out of those goals, I'm going to see people blaming him that would have going to do better, but that's what he did. For the first goal, he stretches, you get, and even the second goal, he has nothing to do because the cross is brought in, and obviously Omorodion was really ahead of Matthias de Ligt, you get? And you ask yourself, why does a cross like that really come through? And how do we really stand into that back line? And where are the midfielders? You get? So that is really important to really come out and note into this game. So Onana, 6.5 out of 10. Mazurui, I think is going to take a 7 out of 10. Was one of the most brilliant players on the field of play. I just saw him really put in a very good shift onto the day. So for me, Mazurui takes I think Mazurui deserves a 7, guys. He really looked good and has been one of the most consistent players ever since this season started at Old Trafford and away at Old Trafford. Then the left back, Dallo, I'm giving him a 6 out of 10, but I know what he's really going in. He would have gone to be a better player if at all he's being played as a right back, because when he was played as a right back most of the season, you saw that he put in a very good shift. But here, when Marcus Rashford does not track back, to leave him in a 1v2 situation, people are not really seeing that. A player has to run to and fro, you get? But you don't trot like Marcus Rashford does when a player is really gonna be putting in a cross, you get? You don't do that. No one does that. You understand? So, I'm giving Dallo a 6 out of 10. Then, we go to the central defenders, Matthias de Ligt. I think for me, I'm going to fault them for the third goal. I think they would have going to do better. But even for that third goal, you ask yourself, where is Casemiro? Because that team, that team, I think passes the ball and they launch the attack at the center, you get? And Eriksen was there, Casemiro was there, but they couldn't obviously track back, because if you lost the ball at the center of the pitch, we expect you to obviously come in through and put in a very huge shift, to run, and really see to it that by the time Ronaldo Martinez is beaten, there is at least a player standing in front of the beaten Marcus Rashford. But where were these players? This is why I ask myself, how do we defend? We are defending really poorly, and defense is not all about the central defenders. That's the mistake people are really doing. That defense is all about the entire team. We lose that ball, we have to track back and obviously flood ourselves into a half. We win that ball and obviously go ahead and really do that. This is why I fault Erik ten Hag for this, because why doesn't he command these players to do this? And why doesn't he get on players that are really good at doing this? At a certain point, I was like, Ugarte, in that game, I tell you, we don't concede any of those goals. I think he would have gone ahead to do the needful to break up play. But Casemiro was really legless and he couldn't obviously be mobile. You understand? So for me, delete 6 out of 10 and Lisandro Martinez a 6.5 out of 10, because Lisandro Martinez was outdone, but where were other players? We are conceding the same goals. How can a player run with that ball 60 yards into the box of Manchester United and then puts in a cutback when the players that were with him at the centre half are nowhere to be seen in the box of Manchester United? You understand? So, however much Erik ten Hag is to blame, but there are certain things that players are really doing that are really very ridiculous. And I'm like, what are they doing? Because you can't concede such goals. You understand? All those goals are really preventable. There is no goal I've gone ahead to see to it that is going to cross the line this season, and we're like, all right, the team just went ahead to outdo us. They've been really brilliant because our team put in the required shift. Every player was pressing, was running. No way. All goals we're going to have to consider because of mistakes. Then we go to the CDM. Casemiro, 6.5 out of 10. Eriksen, guys, he's going to take my 8.5 out of 10. I tell you, he was one of the best players on the field of play. He was involved into the 3 goals, assist for the first goal, assist for the second goal, and he's the man that lays the pass to Marcus Rashford before Marcus Rashford really passes it to Rasmus Højlund, to see to it that Rasmus goes for the near post that results into the second goal, meaning that Eriksen was responsible for the second assist. So, involved in 3 goals, there is no way I don't award him an 8.5 out of 10 for what he went ahead to obviously do into that beautiful game of football, into the mix. Then we go to Amad Diallo. I think he really had a silent day, and this is all because he was not got onto the ball a lot. And I don't know why all these players were really looking for Marcus Rashford, but I think we need to balance the distribution onto the out wide areas of the pitch. But one thing I'm going to recommend or acknowledge about this guy is that he never at any one point gave up. He ran. Even when they hit us on the break, I think in the second half, that Onana came in through and really came to our savior. The guy was really running and he was willing to obviously track back. And that's what we need. We need players who will run. That's why you should eat that. If you look at the club of Manchester United, tell me how many goals have gone ahead to come from the right side where when Mazrui and Amad Diallo are on the pitch. Can you tell me any of those goals? I don't even recall, But on the left, that's where we are really vulnerable. And Ten Hag has to tell those players, Rashford and Garnacho, they have to track back, my mates. They have to do so. Amad, 6.5 out of 10. Marcus Rashford, a goal and an assist. Good work done. And this is where people get blindfolded, that an assist and a goal is going to go in through. But ask yourself, who was responsible for the first goal that you conceded? Second goal, is it the position where you're supposed to be? Because Dallo is in your left back. Then why are you in the 18-yard box area when you're marking nobody? Yet outside the 18-yard box area, there's a player who is really unmarked. That's what we call football intelligence. It's really low. And he did very well to put us ahead in just 20 minutes. But we concede 2 easy goals courtesy of him. And I tell you, it's not courtesy of Man United gonna be playing against Aston Villa, because Ten Hag needed to win this game of football. And if it's not a punishment to Marcus Rashford, I tell you, it's what? Because did he return even on the bench? He was pissed because the manager told him, look at those 2 goals we've conceded because of you. Now you are off the pitch. So I think Marcus Rashford deserves an 8 out of 10 for me. I don't know how much I'm really going to give him on a scale of 10, but he deserves an 8 out of 10 from me. Then Bruno Fernandes, guys, worst player on the field of play. Again, putting in blind passes, obviously losing his head, being petulant. Guys, Ten Hag should really send this guy on a holiday of 2 weeks without playing football. He needs a rest to reset his mind. He needs a psychologist. I don't know what is really running in his head, because way back, however much I've gonna obviously have my reservations on Bruno Fernandes as far as the Hollywood passes are really concerned, shooting anyhow like I was going to do, his end product not being good, by the time he puts in one assist, he would have gone to create like 3 or 4, but he's really wasteful, you understand? You never put Bruno Fernandes' name and blind passes in the same statement. Not really, apart from these Hollywood passes where he really went ahead to distribute the ball anyhow in the out wide areas of the pitch when he tries to obviously do that wide range pass on the blind side of the pitch. He has not been putting in blind passes, but look, he's putting in blind passes like no other. That is the ugliest bit of what he's really doing in as a player. And I'm like, this should come to an end. It should come to a halt. It should come to a stop. And we cannot entertain such stuff in here at the club of Manchester United. And I tell you, at a certain point X, Bruno needs to obviously get off the field of play. And for me, when the red card was given to him against Liverpool, I was like, all right, he's not going to be playing in the team of Manchester United as a player against the team known as Villa. That is it. But I don't know exactly. It was scrapped off, and as he was playing against Villa, he was going to get another yellow card, another red card, and is out of the game of Fenerbahce that we're going to be playing away in Turkey. And guys, watch out that game that we're going to be playing in Turkey. United is going to look a better side. I know Ten Hag is going to be here, because even if he loses to Aston Villa, they'll be like, the team has gone here to fight for the manager, and let's wait and see how he does it when we return from the international break against Brentford and Fenerbahce. You get? Those 3 games that we are set to play are really going to be important into the season of Erik ten Hag. Today's game has shown that the players can fight for him. That's why they're going to keep him here. But Bruno Fernandes, he takes a 4.5 out of 10. I tell you, he really looked ugly. Very, very ugly on the day. Now, Rasmus Højlund, first start, first goal. He got one chance and he converted it, and he deserves his flowers. I give him a super 8 out of 10, because that means if you get him more balls in that area, he'll kill off the chances. You get? So, Rasmus Højlund, 8 out of 10. We go to the substitutes. Alejandro Garnacho, there is a start that has gone ahead obviously surpass in here that the player known as Alejandro Garnacho took 8 shots against Porto, more than twice as many as any other United player. So he took 8 shots at goal, and his shot that he really takes, that I think it deflected off a defender that gave birth to a corner that Harry Maguire scores to really rescue Erik ten Hag, and that is Alejandro Garnacho for you. 7 out of 10 for me. You get? Then Anthony, I think he also deserves a 5 out of 10. He looked bad, He's doing things that he's not supposed to be doing. And in a game like this, why do you try to obviously carry the ball, move the ball and really go into space, and then they really distribute the ball to and with and move? I believe that this is the last season for Anthony, and there is no way United are really going to keep him around here. Even if they cannot sell him and find a club to sell him to, I think he's really going to be loaned to a certain club altogether. Then Harry Maguire, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Obviously, his presence was really good, though he's coming in through with Johnny Evans. I was worried, like, these players are really slow, and this team is really parking the bus, and we've gone here to find ourselves in a position of really inviting pressure and like playing a high line. Won't they outdo us when it comes to pace? But thank God, they really went ahead to do the needful, and they never conceded. And Harry Maguire raised and obviously went ahead to head that ball into the back of the net to make it 3-3. He gets an 8 out of 10. Then you can talk about Evans, 7 out of 10. Who else? Zirkzee. He really looked lost in that game, but he takes a 6.5 out of 10. Erik ten Hag, I'm going to give him a 6.5 out of 10 because I never believed in those substitutions. Why? You cannot take off Amad Diallo and really get in a player called Anthony. If I were Erik ten Hag and I wanted to obviously make a substitution, I would have gone ahead to obviously leave on Rasmus Højlund and really bring on Joshua Zexi and tell him, please, this time we're going to play as a left forward or as a right forward and see what he offers to this beautiful game of football. You understand? So that's what I had for you in here for you. And my man of the match is Eriksen. I tell you, for me, it's Eriksen who really did the wonders. And that's why I saw it that Harry Maguire has taken to his Instagram and said, thanks for the gift. Because he is the best set-piece taker at the club of Manchester United. I said this when rumors were making rounds at Old Trafford that we are interested in signing Eriksen. I was like, all right, Bruno Fernandes should leave set pieces for this guy because he's really good when it comes to those set pieces and delivering them and even taking them direct at the goal. He's really better. No one matches his technique because no one has produced more set pieces scored and set piece assists in their careers more than this guy. And we're talking about this guy. People are like, he's very old. Eriksen came in through here when he's really going to make 30 years of age, right? And now, when you look at him as a Dutch player, he's 32 years of age, you get? And he turned 32 in 14th February this year. Bruno Fernandes has turned 30. There is an age difference of 2. But look at what Eriksen really offers you in a competition like this. He is a very, very good player. And today he banged himself in 2 assists, and that is Christian Eriksen for you. And remember, he scored the goal against FC20. So when I tell you that he's my man of the match, I speak from a well-informed point of view. Go in the comment section, tell me who your man of the match is or was in that game, and we'll be doing the rest later. Rock and David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. Bye bye, my mates.